Began with that massive manhunt for two fugitives. This morning, we do have team coverage. News 13's Sarah Yingling with reaction from neighbors and witnesses as the search intensifies. But first, we start with News 13's Catherine Azone live in Northwest Albuquerque with the very latest on the manhunt. Good morning, Catherine.
Good morning, Crystal. Now, if you live in this area, Northwest Albuquerque, it's no secret. I mean, police were last night by air, by boat, even by car, obviously. And in this parking lot, there were tons just searching for these two men, trying to figure out exactly where they went. Now, it looked like a war zone here as they searched for Joseph Cruz and Lionel Claw. Authorities say the men, who both have violent convictions, escaped from a prison transport van headed to Las Cruces. Cruz is doing life for murder and Claw 30 years for shooting at police during a chase. That's why police are warning this morning they could be armed and dangerous. Police say a tip led them to spotting the two driving on Coors early yesterday evening. APD found the car and that led to a chase.
Because of the high population here, officers did not engage the vehicle once it went into the residentials because we don't want further injuries or further threats.
Law enforcement set up a perimeter in this area, combing through streets and alleys from the Walmart on Coors near I-40 toward the river. An intensive search that had officers and deputies searching under homes, cars, in backyards, warning residents to stay inside, but with no success finding the men. Again, authorities broke down the search early around 1 this morning. Now, right now, authorities are saying a woman who was in the car with the men was being interviewed as of 10 last night. But right now, it's unclear as to what connection she may have with the two men. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Catherine. Now, here's what we know so far about the timeline of the escape this morning. Authorities say the pair escaped from a prisoner transport van that was heading to Las Cruces. They believe when the van stopped in Artesia for gas around 8:30 Wednesday night, the men made a break for it. The transport workers did not realize the fugitives were gone until they reached Las Cruces. The manhunt then shifted to Albuquerque. Surveillance footage from the Hawthorne Suites near University captured the two inside around 4:30 yesterday morning. This morning, authorities are saying they do believe the the escape does look like it was planned. No word if law enforcement believed the men had outside or inside help for this. This morning, a warning from police to residents to be extra cautious, saying both of these men have a violent criminal history. In 2007, Lionel Claw got in a shootout with officers after a chase near Bloomfield. A deputy was hit by shrapnel. Claw was shot in the head but did survive. At one point during that chase, a state police officer was grazed by a bullet. Claw was sentenced to 30 years. As for Joseph Cruz, he is serving a life sentence for beating a man, then stabbing him to death in Raton back in 2005. And it's their violent history that has many in the city still on edge this morning. We continue our team coverage of the search for the escapees with News 13's Sarah Yingling live in downtown Albuquerque. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Crystal. APD is still asking residents to be extra cautious this morning. Now, just hours ago, those in Northwest Albuquerque were allowed back inside of their homes after police spent hours searching door to door.
It's surprising to hear that they escaped and they got this far.
After a tip led police to Coors and Sequoia, dozens of officers surrounded a huge section of Northwest Albuquerque, hoping to close in on the two prison escapees. Some residents we spoke with say they saw the whole thing unfold.
Oh yeah, it happened fast. We turned behind us and we just hear, we saw the truck just flying by.
And then the cop cars.
And the cop car, and we were like, what was that? And so we hopped in our cars and we just drove. And then when we were turning, we saw the truck again and we were just running red lights.
That chase led police to close off a big portion of the city. Residents who were locked out say they were just trying to get home when the chaos unfolded. But despite the safety measures police were taking, there were some neighbors who were frustrated with the search process.
If this was going on in the Northeast Heights, they wouldn't have us out of here. They would have cleared everything up and got us in our homes.
Now, as you wake up this morning, police are still asking residents to keep an eye on their neighborhood. And if you see anything suspicious, to call police at 242-COPS. Live in downtown Albuquerque, Sarah Yingling, KRQE News 13.
Thanks for that update, Sarah. We will continue covering this story and keep you advised of this massive manhunt all day long on KRQE and through our KRQE.